Welcome to 0 to 60.
I'm Matt McChesney. I am the owner and operator of 60 Football Academy and 60 Equipment. Played at the University of Colorado from 2004. 6 years in the National Football League on both sides of football.
I'm Matt McChesney. This is 0 to 60. That is Coach Prime. We are at the University of Colorado. Brother, thank you so much.
All right. 0 to 60. We're rolling.
Welcome to 0 to 60. Happy Friday. I'm your host, Matt McChesney. Bailey's on the ones and the twos. Our man, Phil Dukes, is going to be joining us here as the program proceeds in about 30 minutes to close down the show and close down Friday. We got Ricky Williams on Monday, so don't miss that. We have a lot to talk about today. Bailey, let's pay some bills and roll.
Let's roll. It's going to be a great show on this fine Friday with Phil Dukes. And this show is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for betting and all the madness. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from college basketball to a $200,000 bracket contest, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every Cinderella story to every hat trick, BetOnline is you cover with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here and we roll. Matt, happy Friday. Got a lot to talk about today. We got the man Phil Dukes joining in about 30 minutes. I can't wait for that. But how you doing on this fine Friday?
Doing good, bro. I can't complain. Really good morning this morning at the gym, and guys working hard. And
good.
A bunch of invites getting accepted for the camp and a bunch of other shit that I'll announce on Monday. So exciting stuff. So make sure you guys sign up for camp. If you're a parent out there and you're looking for an edge, we got one. So it's right here. And I know it says invite only, so invite yourself.
There you have it from Big Matt. Check out Untamed Savage Trench Camp with Big Matt McChesney and NFL legend Derek Wolfe. But Matt, let's get into it. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to start with the NFL, and then we'll gradually talk more buffs as Phil Dukes gets here. But first, let's discuss this. So this is going to be funny. DeMarcus Lawrence versus Micah Parsons. So DeMarcus Lawrence signed with the Seattle Seahawks. I think it's a great get for their defense. He pairs along with Leonard Williams and stuff. But he spoke with Hawk blogger Brian Nemhauser, reporter out in Seattle. Shout out to him. And he dropped a little gem saying, Dallas is my home, but I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there. Take a listen to this, Matt.
This is my home. I made my home there. You know, my family lives there. You know, I'm forever going to be there. But, you know, I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there. So, yeah.
Yeah. And after that came out and went everywhere, Micah Parsons responded to it on Twitter saying, this is what rejection and envy looks like. This is some clown shit. DeMarcus Lawrence responds saying, calling me a clown won't change the fact that I told the truth. Maybe if you spent less time tweeting and more time winning, I wouldn't have left. Matt, how do you feel about this situation?
All right, well, first of all, he's not wrong. The Cowboys aren't going to win a Super Bowl, but neither is Seattle. So why? Like, just why say it in the first place? And then also Micah Parsons, bro, just chill. Like, who gives a fuck what Lawrence says? You're supposed to be the big dog. You give this fire when you respond to it with your, like, feelings being hurt. Have you won a playoff game since you've been there? No. Have you been to the playoffs twice? Yes. Is there a problem in Dallas with Jerry Jones and trying to win? Yes. Micah Parsons seems like he wants to be in the media more than he wants to pass rush. And
certainly.
And I'm just saying, like, maybe that could be a cool second career. But right now, I would just focus on the team in front of you, focus on what you got to do to win. My question to Micah Parsons would be very simple. do you think all of this extracurricular shit that you do helps you win? Because there's like, you could break up the Kelseys. They both have won Super Bowls while they've been doing the podcast. So I can't sit there and act like it's taking away from them in any way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that Micah Parsons can't pass rush because he talks on a podcast. I'm saying he's given a lot of energy to shit he can't control with guys who aren't on his team anymore. Like this is, I guarantee you he's walking around his house all pissed off. Like you need to mature a little bit, bro, and understand that what he said is true.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be in this situation too when they undervalue you and lowball you and try and keep you around for less money. And you realize that you're never going to win anything with that organization because Jerry Jones is a fucking idiot. So Micah Parsons you might want to just like sit this one out.
Matt, is my audio good? Do you hear me good? Everything good?
I can hear you fine.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, if you're on a team, let's say hypothetically, you're still playing and you're on a team with Micah Parsons in this day and age, and he does the podcast, what would you say to him if you're his teammate?
Nothing.
You wouldn't care?
I don't give a shit what he does, dude. Just play.
But if you felt that it started to affect certain things on the field or certain things, would you say something then?
I might roast him a little bit, but again, like what you do, this is professional football, bro. Mm-hmm. You need to show up and do your fucking job regardless of what you're doing off the field. So it's not like Micah Parsons isn't doing his job. He's a badass. It's just, I'm sorry, your team sucks, bro. You went to the Cowboys. What do you expect?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Matt, this interesting situation, a bunch of social media beef, so to speak, but we'll see if the Seahawks and the Cowboys are matched up. I don't know if they are or not, but
everybody's really tough on social media too. Keep that in mind.
Great point, man. I
amen to that. Tough. Like people are like never lost a fight. Super fucking tough, unbelievable. Just hand-to-hand combat specialists, grapplers. Never get tired when you fight. Like probably shave their armpits to make it more aerodynamic. Like real Jackie Chan motherfuckers. All over social media. Didn't you notice the last show we did how they were just everywhere and like they're tough as fuck, bro. They're the toughest group of people I've ever been around.
Oh, Matt, let's address that, Matt. The Ryan Clark situation with Shedeur, and everyone's saying how. I mean, I'll just say what they're saying. They're saying you're white, you can't comment on it, and all this crap. Are you fucking kidding me? Guys, come on. This is really where we're at? Matt, go ahead. I'm like.
Well, look, man, I thought a lot of the comments were like, if you say anything that, like, I want them to run the ball more. And if they don't run the ball more next year, it's a choice. I don't see how that's a negative. That's something I want them to do. I think they can. I think they're going to be pretty good. That I think Shedeur is probably tired of all the race stuff. Like Caleb Williams and Jane Daniels went 1-2 last year. They're both black quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like so, I guess if the crutch wants to continue to be crutched, then keep it up. But I don't think that the people you're defending think like this.
No, I don't. I agree.
No, I'm just saying, man. Like it is what it is. Like listening to the apologists too is just exhausting. Like some of the shit that Schmitty says, I'm just like, oh my fucking God, stop with the politically correct bullshit and tell me how you really feel.
Right.
And that's the other thing is there's a different opinion on the podcast and on the radio than how you really feel. And at least I'm willing and other people are willing to give their opinion that ruffles your widow feathers. So it's okay, man. Shedeur's not bothered. So, I mean, Cam Ward and Shedeur are two black guys that are going to be the top two quarterbacks again.
Right.
I mean, I just don't see how there's any racism going on towards them. Like, you're about to get paid $40 million, bro. That doesn't seem very like. racist to me.
This is my point, man. I don't understand. We're with the race thing. You have two black quarterbacks that are about to go probably 1 and 2. Think about the last 5 or 10 years in the draft. Come on, like this. Shedeur will be just fine, and the Ryan Clark always resorting to race and how it may or may not affect his draft stock. First off, we don't know. Like, it's March still. We don't know. We still have a month and a half of this shit. So Ryan Clark saying that is like, that's his crutch, is to go to that.
Typical, bro. It keeps everybody talking about him.
It's a crutch for him. But let's move forward, Matt. To those in the chat who think it's racist for us to comment on it, you crazy as hell. And don't forget I'm mixed, so just stop with that shit. Let's move forward, Matt. I got to ask you about this topic here that I think this is a topic you'll really enjoy to talk about.
Also true.
North Carolina head coach Bill Belichick asked his UNC staff to CC his 24-year-old girlfriend Jordan Hudson on all team emails and everything. Matt, smart move or dumb move?
So she's his assistant, essentially, yes.
This sounds like it.
It's a good way to keep her around. I mean, bro, look, if you're going to run a family business, you got to put everybody in the family in the business. And your woman's going to want to roll. And I wouldn't have a problem with her being around. I mean, fuck. She can come fucking open my emails whenever she wants, bro. I got no beef with this. I think Bill Belichick might be my new spirit animal. So, yeah, I mean, look, this has the potential to end terribly because people email some pretty crazy shit sometimes. But at the same time, I also think that it's so awesome. Like, it's just feeds itself. It's fantastic. I dig it.
Yeah, and I think it's hilarious, but I also am like, yeah, it's probably a smart move. And I don't know. Sean King this morning brought up it's a good way to keep you out of a lawsuit. I
mean, for real, bro. It's in house. Like, she's right down. She's got an office. You can just walk down and be like, so I canceled the 12:30 press conference so you and I can hang out. If you come down to my office, we could go over some emails. And she'll be like, okay, Bill. And she'll prance her ass down there and tax Bill's ass for 30 minutes, and he'll be real happy at practice. Maybe this was the key in New England the whole time. Maybe instead of Robert Kraft getting all the rub and tugs, maybe they should have hooked Bill up with a 24-year-old girlfriend, and then he wouldn't have been so fucking pissed off the whole time he was there. Shit, I bet you he's.
I mean, it's funny. Not the craziest theory I've ever heard. I'm sure it's not right.
Going in ear to ear, clown face action, drip, drip, drop. He's gonna be in there fucking. He'll be in there doing the fucking alphabet with his tongue faster than you can fucking do the alphabet with your motherfucking tongue. You know how like when you twist your ankle, and they're like, do the alphabet in the air. Well, that is the same exact motion pattern that you need to use with the when you're trying to please. It's just saying. You probably don't even do that, though.
No, actually, that's a great point, Matt. You're absolutely right. 100% true.
It's 100% true. I guarantee you, if he's keeping her happy, he does the alphabet front to back, back to front, middle to the sides. He could probably do it drunk, back to front, like just fucking rehearse it. Bam. Fuck.
Exactly.
Inside run's going to be fun today.
Well, nonetheless, Belichick CCing his 24-year-old girlfriend on all emails, I think probably a smart move, nonetheless.
Hey, what happens when one of the players bangs the coach's girl?
This is what everyone keeps saying. That's what everybody keeps saying.
Somebody's going to try it for damn sure. Like, it would almost be worth getting kicked off the team and having to go to the transfer portal because you fucked Belichick's girl. Ooh. Wow. Look at that. That is crazy as fuck right there. Can you imagine? Why'd you go to the transfer portal, son? Well, Coach, see, what had happened was I was just going to class, and I was walking out of the defensive meeting room, and she was walking out of her office because she's Coach's assistant. She's there and shit, and we locked eyes, and next thing I know, I'm in her office. And it's college shit, you know what I'm saying? He found out, and he told me I couldn't play DB anymore, and I'm a 5-star, so I'm in the transfer portal for beating Coach's wife's cheeks. Fuck, man, that kid would go. That fucking. You'd have a documentary about that. You'd have a documentary about that. 24-year-old cheeks beat.
Yeah, imagine a 30 for 30 on this shit. Fuck. Well,
how good of a player do you have to be to stay on the team if you do that?
Oh God, you'd have to be.
Do you think Tom Brady could get away with hammering cheeks and then winning the Super Bowl and get away with it?
That is a tough question to answer, man.
It's a solid question. I'm just saying, how good of a player do you have to be to sleep with Coach Belichick's girl and him to be like, well, I guess we're on to Wake Forest.
Whoa. That was good. Fuck. Well, sticking on college football relationships, and Matt, I know you'll have a take on this one. Oh, Carson please. Beck and Hannah Cavender.
Oh yeah, I was hoping we were going to talk about this.
Both are student athletes at the University of Miami. Allegedly, were in a relationship for a while, and now I guess have split up. And Matt, you sent me a video kind of breaking down the situation here. I'm going to show it and we'll react. Take a listen.
Almost positive that Carson Beck and Hannah Cavender are broken up because some dumb shit this dude did on Snapchat. Which, oh, shocker, Carson Beck got in trouble for saying some stupid shit on Snapchat again. The first time that pointed to them breaking up was looking at Hannah's Instagram, and there's absolutely nothing posted with him. Like, everything of him is erased. After just this weekend, they were posting with Carson Beck when they were on a little boyfriend-girlfriend trip in Nashville. Here's another post where Carson Beck's right there. And peep this when it was posted, by the way, 3 days ago. That would be Sunday. We got this DM saying that Carson Beck added this one girl on Snapchat on Sunday, looking at 9:34 p.m. So just after they were posting all this shit on Sunday in Nashville together. And as soon as he adds that one girl on Snapchat, he sends her this. While him and Hannah are like very much together on a trip together. Girl asks like, oh, like, don't you have a girlfriend? And y'all break up? He goes, literally this past weekend, LOL. Boldface ass lie. And then here's another Snapchat that he sent her saying things just not working out. He could see it coming. This looks like a really brand new hat, right? Real new, real nice. The same exact one he was wearing on that trip in Nashville. So I'm gonna be so real. Like, this dude 1000% sent this while he was
like
on
a junior
had a
detective.
little away time. Hannah doesn't even follow this dude anymore, so you already know they broke up. And like I said, from this really trusty source,
Matt. This guy's jerking off to his own video. But good breakdown. I will say this: that this is everyone. I tell guys in the fucking gym this all the time. Who's the commodity? You. Should you be chasing it? No. Guard yourself from predatory women. Okay? At the same time, also don't transfer and move to Miami for a bitch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, that's tough. See,
now you're stuck in Miami, all fucking Timmy-faced on the beach, out there trying to play fucking quarterback, and your girl is going to go on a fuck tour, and she's going to be out like, oh, Carson, you want to sling dick on Snapchat? Well, I'm going to sling this pussy all over South Beach. And she's bad. So she's going to have no problem whatsoever getting whatever she wants whenever she wants. And she's got a twin, right? So that could get super fucking interesting. But yeah, Carson really fucking fumbled this bag, Beryl. I'll tell you. Like, I would personally just like, I would do things off of Snapchat and Instagram. I don't really think that's the best place to have your relationship put out there. Most of the time, when I see people that are really, really happy on Instagram and social media and their relationship, and I'm not talking about like every now and then posting something about your significant other. That's what I'm talking. I'm talking about like every fucking day. Those people usually end up like in a documentary like, we haven't seen this chick in 3 weeks because her husband chopped her up and left her in the fucking woods somewhere in Utah. Tell me that's not all over Netflix. That's like 9 of the fucking documentaries.
Yeah.
Always some dude getting recorded, and in the back of your mind, you're like, this guy really doesn't like this. And at the end of the show, he's in jail and the chick's dead. So maybe it was good that they broke up. Although I doubt that Timmy could operate a fucking weapon if you handed it to him. He probably looked down the barrel, the dumb fuck. So all I have to say to Timmy now is, bro, go, I don't know, transfer back to Georgia, go to Georgia Southern. I'm sure they can take nothing. But I don't know if Miami's really got it. But you got your car stolen. Your girl broke up with you. Like, this is straight. You went to Miami, white boy, and got baptized. Welcome to it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're gonna walk in and she's gonna be a train running on her ass, and she's gonna be like, "Oh, hi Carson, I forgot to tell you, you have to move out." And like the wide receivers and the DBs are in there fucking Eiffel Towering his girlfriend.
My God.
Ex-girlfriend, that is. Sorry.
Right. Wow. Well, remind me, I was already not super confident in Miami with Carson Beck anyway.
Now they're fucking
remind me to bet against them every game.
This guy's going to be out there just fucking throwing it up. You're like in the huddle, like, I write 27 power pass, 1, 2, break. And they'll go out there and be like, Timmy. And they'll have snapping the ball and just be like, fuck it. My girl broke up with me. Like, if I was a defensive player, I'd be talking shit the whole time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's
like, walk up to
how's he not wrong with this shit now?
Walk up to him real quick and be like, hey, Carson, remember that smell? Mm-hmm. Just walk back to the huddle.
Yeah. Well, let's move forward, Matt, before we get too off.
Bailey's getting upset, too.
I'm not upset at all. Matt, I think this next topic is something that is a hypothetical scenario that we'll react to. But this isn't a hypothetical, actually. Take a look at this, and we'll react and give our take.
18-year-old out to buy his grandfather some socks came across a bag with $135,000 just sitting near Wells Fargo ATM in Albuquerque. Jose Nunez Romanes told CBS affiliate KRQE he called the number on the ATM, then police, because he knew trying to keep the money meant he would have to deal with mom.
Back of my head, I was just thinking about my parents, especially my mom. What she would do if I came home with the money, and what she would do with her chancla to hit me.
It turns out the Wells Fargo subcontractor whose job it is to fill.
Turn it off. This guy found $135,000 fucking dollars that he didn't have to steal, that he could have literally just walked away with. And his response is, I didn't do it because I would have had to tell my mom. If I came home and I was like, Ma, and I was this kid and I was like 20, and I was like, Ma, I found $135,000 cash, and I didn't bring it home because I thought I just was thinking, what would you do about it? She would whip my motherfucking ass up and down the street. She'd be like, you better go get that fucking money. I'm telling you, we would have buried that shit on the ranch faster than you could say bury some shit on the ranch. Motherfucker, you turned down $135,000? You stupid fuck. What is wrong with you? I want to slap the shit out of this kid, bro. I'd fucking hit him like a slap contest. That motherfucking face would ripple like the goddamn 7 seas when I'm fucking flying across it in my yacht that I bought with $135,000 motherfucking dollars. $135,000 cash? $135,000 motherfucking dollars cash, and you don't take it? You're a fucking idiot. Idiot. I don't even care if it's a setup and they're trying to see if you take it. The fact
that was my next question to you. You just take it and disappear.
I'd rather get caught trying to fucking take the money than be the good guy that turns it in. What a fucking pussy. Fuck you, kid. You're making it hard on criminals everywhere, dog. This is a criminal's dream. A dream. $135,000 motherfucking cash. What? Getting my car straight to Vegas, turning that into 300, turning foe into mo, stack.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this kid ended up turning in the money, and they actually gave him a $500
dude, I'd be so fucking mad. I'd like $500 and on fire in front of the cop. Like, fuck your $500. Because the cops, I guarantee you, the cops would steal this shit. Cops are dirty as fuck. They would have found this money and been like, oh, we only reported 30,000 found. They're chopping up $105,000. Yeah, I don't think that they're not fucking stealing that shit, dog. Come on. I mean, dude, first of all, if my criminal ass father ever, like, God rest his soul, love him, but didn't like rules. Weird. My dad. If I would have come home and been like, yo, Pops, dog, I just saw $135,000 cash. It was just sitting next to the ATM. Nobody claimed it. Like, it was just sitting there. No one, people were walking by it and shit. And I turned it in and got a $500 reward. Aren't you happy? He might shoot me and bury me on the ranch.
Yeah.
Like, it goes against all code as a man. You do not allow cash money to just walk in front. I'm taking it every time. I don't give a fuck. You can say whatever you want about my character. You can fucking watch my character walk away with $135,000. $135,000 cash. Watch my character walk away with that. And you can imagine your broke-ass character watching my character walk away with the money. The fuck out of here. It's a goddamn disgrace. A disgrace to your family, you fat piece of shit. You know how many ho-hos you could have bought with $135,000 motherfucking dollars trying to be all nice and shit, got a $500 reward? Wipe the ass of that $500 reward, roll it and smoke it, because you might as well take shit if you're going to act like shit. Get this motherfucker off the screen. Makes me angry as fuck. I was so mad when I saw that this morning. I couldn't wait to give it to you. For real, dog. Tell me that you're not mad as fuck at this kid. Mad.
I just think it's an interesting decision he made there. So I don't know.
Very interesting. Extremely interesting, yes.
It's just like you go on to listen. It's here, hold on. I gotta show this. Hold on.
By accident. The mayor and police chief recognized Nunez for doing the right thing when no one was looking and invited him to apply as a public safety officer while still in school. Nunez also got a $500 check from New Mexico.
He got the Junior Detective Award and $500. So essentially what you're telling him is, and you put this on the news, so everybody at his school now is just going to roast him for being a junior detective. He got $500 when he could have got $135,000 roast. And he's never, this is just setting this kid up to be bullied for the rest of his life. Did you give him a little plastic badge too that says chump on it?
Chump. Well,
and his mom, Mrs. Nunez, what the fuck kind of crack are you smoking? You don't want $135,000 cash that's untraceable because they just forgot it? It would have been the guy's fault. It's no one's fault. I just found money.
I just found money and took it.
But fuck, man, when you find $20 on the ground, do you just pick it up and be like, I wonder whose $20 this is? I'm never going to stop on my fucking in life to find the person who dropped this 20. Fuck no, you don't. You put that shit in your pocket and you leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unless it's now these days, there's people putting shit in $20 bills.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't pick up shit from the ground, man. I don't trust nothing.
Maybe you shouldn't pick up money anymore because everyone's a scumbag. But still, I'm picking up $135,000. There could be a bomb in that motherfucker. I don't care. At least I'll go out happy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Man, well, Matt.
Yeah, everybody in the chat, you guys got mad at me for being under the weather on Wednesday and feeling like shit and still doing the show. So I'm trying to fucking yuck it up today. So all you pussies in the comments, you have a good day. So I make sure that I don't affect your mentality on top of mine. And then everybody can all get along. We can sing Kumbaya and hug it out and shit.
Great first half of the show on this fine Friday, Matt. When we come back, we're going to talk all things Colorado Buffaloes football with our main man, Philip Dukes. Can't wait for him to join the show. If you're watching, hit the like button, subscribe, become a member of the Dungeon family. We appreciate you watching. And
$135,000.
Yes, 100. Yeah, he only got 500 of that. So,
wow, bro, just fucking wow, dog, just wow. Not enough weed in the world to get this fucking story out of my head. Commercial.
See you in 2 minutes. Peace.
Whether it's offensive linemen as they work combos and double teams and also pass pro and punch, I think the unique physicality of this is outstanding. So much so that you can use it for your shield on punt team or as you rush in the shield. There's so many different ways that we're using it. We get better a little bit every single day, and I just wanted to say thank you because I hadn't ever thought of this, and when I saw it, it made total sense, and we're doing a great job with it. So thank you, man. Go Big Red. What this has done for us is it's allowed us to, because of the surface area, because of its firm nature, I can still strike against another player and have to use that punch just like you do on a sled. At the same time, have to time my punch because it could move. I can teach defensive linemen how to handle double teams because they can feel pressure. We can simulate contact in a safe environment in non-contact times because of this unique bag.
Welcome down here to the Lab 60 Football Academy, 60 Strength and Fitness. I am your owner and operator, Matt McChesney. I just wanted to let everybody know that 60 is now on Cameo. You can go on Cameo and request any tips for training, any offensive line, defensive line tips, recruiting tips. I get so many inquiries in my inbox on a daily basis about tips and can you look at my film and can you do this? Can you break down something for me? I'd love to, all right? It's like the Joker said, my man, right here. If you're good at something, never do it for free. So Cameo is now your bridge to 60 Football Academy. Go in, request what you want, tips, suggestions, recruiting, film, and we will make sure that you get the absolute best from the best. So check out 60 on Cameo at 60 Academy. Cameo, 60 Academy. Cameo, 60 Academy.
Matt, and we're back here on this fine Friday.
Hey, did you change the commercial for the bags?
What do you mean?
Like, did you put more information in the commercial for the bags?
No.
Really?
No, it's the same.
You should send me that copy of that one because that's pretty good.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and by the way,
I
at the CU show with the Nebraska coach giving the compliment to the bags. When Coach Prime decides to say something about the bags, I'll put him on here. Shit. He bought 5 of them.
Exactly. I always like we have Matt Rule. I think it's so funny. We got CU show. We got Matt Rule, the commercial. That shit makes
look, I'll tell you, look, I bleed black and gold, but you know what I covet?
Yeah.
Green. And my motherfucking phone matches all the time, and I'm a goddamn cold hustler, and I am straight about that fucking money. Because I'm 43 years old, I'm not 13 years old. So you can take your fan shit and stick it in your ass and buy a bag at 60equipment.com.
60equipment.com. Get yours today. But Matt, before we get Philip Dukes joining the show, I got to show this because this is I think you'll really like this. Colorado's long snapper Gabe Landers signed with a new agency, I believe, and put out a new promotional video. Take a look at this, Matt.
They say I'm the biggest, the largest. Been stepping on.
Can't play that long, but Matt, I've this is the most like I've never seen a long snapper have a video like this. This is awesome. Like I was like, damn. I mean, shout out to Mr. Landers, man. This is a good video here.
Look. I love long snappers, bro. They're some of my favorite people.
Yeah.
They are. Like in the NFL, one of my best friends is Lonnie Paxton, great long snapper, very unique dude. Like every long snapper I know is a little fucking woohoo. Like this dude, you're the fucking long snapper, dog. All iced up and shit. Yeah. Hype video. Like that's the way we roll at CU. Even our long snappers got fucking drip, drip, drop. That motherfucker's just walking out all iced up and shit. I dig it. Fuck it. I'm with it. I'm fully invested in all this shit. So I'm with it. Fuck it. I'll tell you this, though. You better not fuck up a snap because you ain't Shador.
Yeah.
You better not fucking snap up all year, dog. I swear to fuck God that I know you're a long snapper and that's cool. And you made a video and that's cool. Like you're not a skill player or a big guy. So your only job is to fucking flick the wrist and get that ball back there. So flick the bean right here. Flick the fucking bean. Get the ball back there and do your fucking job. Don't screw up because you're going to go from the Iceman to iced out real quick.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, 2 things I'll say. Yeah, he better not mess up.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, facts. You better not mess up a snap, but man, that's so fitting. That's perfect for CU. It's perfect for it's just great. I love it. I thought that was funny. Oh man, before we wait for Phil Dukes to join here, Matt, I gotta go back to the NFL here, and this is how do I say this? So Tyreek Hill sends a message to all of his fans on how to treat women.
Yeah,
so to speak. Always be a gentleman, fellas. And Dove Kleiman or whatever on Twitter says a role model on and off the field?
All right, so this guy has like 10 kids with like 6 different chicks. He's like whipped several women's asses. He broke his kid's arm. Tyreek Hill is not a role model. Tyreek Hill is just really fast and good at receiver, which allows him to have this platform. But he's a piece of shit. Let's be real. Like off the field, he's a real scumbag.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can put this clip out, but everybody knows the fucking truth, dog. We know that you're a girlfriend having, wife beating, kid beating piece of shit. So if you didn't run 4.3 and you weren't the cheetah, you would be in jail.
Yeah. I mean,
so I'm sorry, but I have. Which one of these chicks are you parading around? This is my other thing. I was married for a long time. Then I was single for about 5 years, and now I'm in a relationship. Obviously, everybody knows Brie. I don't understand the parade around 7 different bitches and get everybody pregnant and have all these kids. I don't. You a man, a good man, a rational man in any way, shape, or form. I don't see how it gives you character. It makes you a character. I don't see how you can ever look at your fucking women with any kind of honor whatsoever, or have them look at you with any kind of respect. And then your children also, you're setting up all of your male children to think that's the way to go, and you're setting up all your female children to think it's acceptable to be treated like that as a female. So I also think that if you mix a narcissistic multimillionaire asshole who thinks he can get away with everything with a bunch of clout chasing fucking bitches who just want to fuck him to get pregnant so they can have a kid and therefore get paid, so he has to be daddy and all the alimony and fraternity suits and all the bullshit. Yep. I think if you mix those together, you get this narcissistic, crazy bullshit that you see right here, where both people agree to do this. She knows too, unless she's a fucking mail order bride from Taiwan and some shit and doesn't speak English and like has no idea who the fuck Tyreek Hill is. She knows that he's a wife-beating, girlfriend-having, kid-beating piece of shit. And if you're going to sit here and fucking defend it, okay, I don't know what to say to you. I'm glad he's fast and he's rich. Good job, but he's not a good dude. Let's play real. You can put up all the posts you want on me. It doesn't fucking change the past.
Well, what kills me is Dove or whatever Kleiman on Twitter, who really isn't like he's one of those reporters where you have to question or double check whatever he posts, because it's not like Rappaport or nothing. But him saying a role model on and off the field just kills me, because I'm like, dog, what you're setting that shit up for.
It's like how to get the clicks. Like, look and think about this. He's being talked about as a role model, and a guy who's never done anything wrong in Shedeur is being talked about like he's a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how fucking crazy the world is that we live in.
Yeah, that is absolutely true, Big Matt. Just ironic the way that was posted, and is what it is. But Matt, let's get into it. Our special guest is here, and we got a lot of CU Buffs football to talk about. Our main man, Colorado Buffaloes analyst. Check him out at Dukes of Scoops on Twitter. Check him out on YouTube as well. I saw he did a Georgia football show recently as well, so check that out. Our main man, Phillip Dukes. Welcome to the show. How you doing, brother? Thank you for joining.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good, man. I like the hat. That's a nice-ass Brewers hat. I like it.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Went old school.
All right, let's get straight into this. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to the show. I know you're killing it out there. Make sure everybody follows Dukes all over the social media platforms and like and subscribe. How many different shows are you doing now? Like 4?
I don't know, bro.
He's got so many shows. Like and subscribe to all of them. You're up at spring ball. You're watching. You're evaluating. You're getting all the film. How they looking, bro?
Man, from what I've seen and the people that I've talked to, this is probably one of the more energetic and I would say like uber focused Colorado teams over the past 3 years. When you look at the amount of talent that the talent level being raised from 1 to 11 to now, so year 1 you had to get depth. 2, you had to get quality players, quality starters. 3, now it's quality depth. And so now when your 8th player is just as good as your 3rd, that's when you're able to really coach and start to mix it up. And Matt, like in your playing experience, you knew what it was like to be a top-heavy team. It means when one person goes down, basically, like at any position, the season can be shot from one position. Left tackle goes down, the season is shot because you know there's nobody else who can protect that blind side, depending on their hand or what orientation your quarterback is, left or right. But now when you have guys, or your pass rusher goes down, perfect example, Cam Newton's Auburn run, when they had basically a game record on both sides. It was Cam Newton on offense, Nick Fairley on defense. If either one of those guys went down, the season was shot. Now with Colorado, you lose a signal caller. Let's say the Lord forbid whoever wins the job goes down. Now you got another one. When you talk about having your main interior defensive lineman, let's say Big Quinn goes down, you got Jaheim Motis. Well, let's say your weak side backer goes down. Now you got two transfers that came out of the portal that are really good. You lose a corner. You got Colson Hood. You got DJ McKinney. You got Stoutmeyer. You've got guys. You lose a receiver. You just bring in Quentin Gibson and Farrakhan. So, I mean, just looking at the quality depth that Colorado has, I think it has everybody in the entire team focused with a business-like mentality. And that's why I think you've seen the energy early on that you've seen in Colorado in the spring practices.
And you can really stack talent in college. And the teams I was on there in college in Boulder, if you didn't play well in practice, you got replaced by an NFL player. And I feel like that's what's happening now in Boulder, where if you don't play well, they're going to replace you with another guy who's really good, and it may be the end of the road for you. So you better have good days. You know, you brought up the fact that the teams kind of crumble when they're top heavy. Last year, I think if Jordan or Travis or Shedeur goes down, that would have happened to the team. You brought up both the quarterbacks. I mean, look, could Juju win this job from a fifth-year senior?
He could. Juju could. And I'm not saying that just because I've been watching him a long time, but I also am saying that because I've been watching a long time. He's different. And it's not usually when you get guys who who have the physical tools to play at earlier, they don't have it here. Well, it's the inverse with Juju. He has it here. Like the way, like what I heard, I talked to somebody in the building about the first time that he got mic'd up when he was able to get the communication from the sideline with a helmet on, and they said it was like he had a 30-year-old man. The way Juju is processed and wired, I think the intangibles, we've seen Juju. There's footage of him throwing at Athletes First Day where Athletes First is probably top 2, top 3 agencies in the NFL, where he's throwing with guys who are Pro Bowlers, and they're all in awe. Like, man, this kid is 14 years old, and the ball is coming out like that. I think we've seen that part of it. But I think what sets Juju is apart is the intangibles and his cerebral nature when it comes to playing football. That's why I say that you could run him out there game one. Do I think he'll do it? I think it's still going to be an uphill battle because there's some things that you just can't replace with that experience is one of those intangibles that you can't replace. And I think Salter playing against Power 4 competition, upsetting some of those teams while he was at Liberty, being able to take a team that, I think they went undefeated and played Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl that year.
Yeah.
So I think, and Salter also has uncanny athleticism and his explosion. And I think when we talk about people being fast, we usually restrict that to 40 times and running 100. But guys who do well in jumping events, whether it be the hurdles, whether it be the broad jump, whether it be having a great vertical, when you're able to kind of focus on that explosion, usually 10-foot jumps translate to 4 or 5 40s. And that's what we saw at the combine. If you go look at the combine list, and the Salter is really explosive in this core. So I think that's one of those things where even short area and long stride is going to allow him to be able to score off RPOs. So I think that's going to be important early to really set the plate or set the table when you have teams where if the passing game isn't going, you can really make a safety cheat either backwards or forwards because you have that ability and that duality in the quarterback. But to answer your question, I do think Juju can win the job. I just think he's going to have a lot of work to do because he's not taking it from Boo Boo the Fool. He would have to take it from Kaidon Salter.
Yeah, and I think there's also a world where I think both of them could get a lot of run at that also. So if they can get creative in the meeting room up there. Before we talk to you about the run game a little bit and circle back to spring ball, you brought up the combine. Before we let Bailey jump in here too, I just had to get this one out. Obviously, the big-time guys from CU, Shedeur and Travis didn't run. Wester and Horn did a really good job. The Big 12 Pro Day, this is something new. They're doing it in Frisco. So you're telling me they're not doing the Pro Day in Boulder then?
Some people are. I don't know who's going, but some people
But
will do both.
Shedeur and Travis, they're going to do it in Frisco, or are they going to do it in Boulder?
They're going to do it in Boulder.
So they're going to do it in Boulder. They're still going to go to the Frisco Pro Day, though, and hang out?
I think so. I'm not sure. I know there are some people that are going to do both, but they're one of the only teams in the Big 12 that have the cachet where you can have a separate pro day at Colorado. Yeah. A lot of the teams, and the Big 12 did that, but for schools that weren't going to get as much as exposure, they said we can get exposure for the entire conference if we put everybody together. Well, that's something Colorado ain't worried about, so you can really take your pick, and that's one of the pluses that you can talk about in recruiting is, hey, we got our own. It doesn't matter. And as I work with players all over the country, and two of the guys that I work with, one's at Kansas and one's at Nebraska, and Nebraska formerly of the Big 12, but like these guys are thinking like, damn, I wish I had the opportunity to do both. Where, it's like I wish I could go to this one and go to this one. And as you know, like teams have local pro days for I don't know what the mile radius is, maybe it's 60, 100 miles. But if you're within, you're like within 100 miles of an NFL team, then you can go to that pro day. But that's just that team. So for Colorado players to be able to have everybody in the league coming to see Shedeur Sanders there, and then be able to also piggyback off guys who are dominant in the Big 12, and the guys that are going to see there, they could also see you there. I think the only team in the Big 12 that offers that and damn near in the country is going to be Colorado. So that has to be a feather in their cap when it comes to recruiting.
And then Shedeur and Travis not working out the combine, controlling the environment in Boulder. I think it's smart. It's good business. How do you feel about that? And then Bailey, you can jump in. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, I think it's par for the course. I think there's something to be said for your body of work, which allows you to make those type of decisions where you have guys who did not, who were healthy enough to work out at the combine, but they had the cachet where they didn't have to. They had the resume where it's like, you know what? We've done so much, and our grade is at this point that teams are coming to see us, and you're seeing guys who were able to in their top 10 or top 15 rated guys that was like, nah, I'll just wait till the conditions are more favorable because I have more to lose that other people have to gain. So I think that's really important, and it goes into what you've been able to put on paper and be put on film before you got to the combine. So yeah, if you're a projected number one pick, and usually the top three quarterbacks, even last year, Drake May, Daniels, and Williams, none of them performed at the combine. Did it allow opportunity for guys like Bo Nix? Yeah, absolutely. But it didn't affect their stock at all. They literally went to their most comfortable environment, and they were able to perform in the way that they did. And what it also does for Colorado is this is how you can have a pro day at Colorado, because now you really think about how much exposure Horn and let's take Horn and Wester out of it. What about a Will Shepherd? Who didn't get the combine invite? Now everybody is going to be able to see him perform with his quarterback. So not only is it okay for them or they'll be fine, but it also allows them to be a little more selfless and say, you know what, we're going to bring some of this shine to our guys. So man, kudos to those guys for thinking about people outside of themselves as well.
Man, what Coach Prime has built in Boulder going on year 3 is such a monster. It is a Goliath, bro. We are just scratching the surface. Bailey, I know you got some questions. Get in there with Dukes, and let's keep rolling.
Absolutely. Phil Dukes, I can't thank you enough for joining. Let's dive into Colorado's run game. Before, I want to get your take on Marshall Faulk taking over as Colorado's running back coach and your thoughts on that. But before I get your take, I want to show Marshall Faulk talking about Colorado's run game. Take a listen.
If you're not trying to improve, then you're getting worse. Even if I came in here and we were coming off being, top 10, top 5, I'm still looking at where can we improve. That's the idea, and that's the mindset that we have to have, and that's what we want to instill in the football players that we bring in here and that we coach. I don't care how good you are. It's how much better can we make you? Where can you get better? And if that's all you do is focus on the things that you do well, then you're not improving. I got to take your weakness and turn it into a strength, and that's the idea of what we want to do. And
Phil Dukes, what are your thoughts on Marshall Faulk taking over as Colorado's running back coach and the impact that'll have on Colorado's run game in general?
Man, I think that there are some things that aren't on the surface that are really impactful that Marshall Faulk is going to be able to help with. One of those things being his familiarity with the offense, or with Pat Shermer's offense, as Pat Shermer is a disciple of the Air Coryell system, where you're going to have to, where running backs have to do more than just run the ball, and they have to be effective in multiple phases of the game. Well, for somebody who understands, because they understand the base terminology, and as Matt knows, like, and you know as well, like, there's only a few schools of thought when it comes to defense and offense. After that, it's either the same terminology, like it's not no 7-2 defense. Like, it's either gonna be 4-3-3-4 base. Like, there's not a ton of schemes that you run, but having familiarity with the terminology and what do you do against certain fronts, that's what makes the difference. So Marshall Faulk, if like let's think about, let's break it down. Like, let's say, what do people like to run against cover two? There may be a cover two, more so of a Tampa 2. One offensive guy say, you know what, as soon as we see Tampa 2, we want to go straight bubble, straight tunnel. We want to get a block on that up cornerback. Well, that's his mentality of his offensive scheme. You're going to have guys who want to get down the field. They're going to say, I want to run smash. Every time we see that look, I want to run smash. So having a running backs coach who already knows what the ideology is between what happens when you get certain fronts, that's going to pay off huge when you got a guy who hasn't coached on the college level before, who's already familiar with the offensive strategy or the offensive schematics that go along with Pat Sherman's system. First and foremost, I thought that was the most important. Secondly, I think for Marshall Faulk to have the eye that he has to do what he's been able to do, to play with the players that he's been able to play with, and for him to come in and assess Colorado's running back room with a set of fresh eyes and say, you know what, this guy was used like this, but I would have used him this way. This guy catches the ball a lot better than he may have been given credit for. Let's put him in these situations. And if you notice, there wasn't a huge, like, you haven't heard a whole lot about Colorado running back recruiting right now. And that's because they wanted Coach Faulk to get in and see what his type of guy was going to be. And even as I talked to different teams about needs and what they may be going after in the transfer portal in the spring, running back in Colorado hasn't been something I've been hearing a ton about. I think they could add a back, possibly, but it's not one of those things that you absolutely know that Colorado is going to go look for in the spring portal, because Marshall Faulk likes what he has, and I think that's super important to bring in a guy who knows what he knows, his knowledge, his wisdom, to be able to come in and assess the running back room and get the most out of it.
Have you ever seen a staff like this in your entire life? I mean, Andre Gerard joining now in the offensive line, a guy I played with, one of my best friends, Coach Faulk, Coach Sapp, Pecco, Coach Prime, Lindgren. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. The guys that we haven't even brought up that are NFL veterans all over the facility. It's now, the Colorado Buffaloes are NFLU, bro. This is what it is. I mean, why wouldn't you go there if you're a kid? You've got to look at them seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, name another staff in college football that you can literally take the logo off and put a pro team's logo on and it still be the same.
I can.
You can remove the C, like, no disrespect to any team in the NFL, but I wouldn't have any pause if I said, you know what, let's take whatever team, the Raiders, whoever it was, and you just put that logo and you have those same names on that team's website. You don't feel a kind of way about it. I can't say that about another team in the entire college football, the entire FBS. You cannot say that about another team. So if I'm recruiting, that's what I say. I'm leading with that. I'm like, all right, look, let's close your eyes and let's take the black and gold off and let's make it the silver and blue, or let's make it the black and red for the Falcons. Literally, it's people in Atlanta right now that would say, you know what, give us that whole staff right now. So I think that's something that you got to lead with. And I think that if someone, and for all the kids that I mentor that are interested in Colorado, I tell that's one of the things I say. I mean, how serious are you about your dreams? Because if you're really serious about the NFL, why wouldn't you want to go get it from somewhere where you're going to have this amount of talent? Now, that's not to say that there isn't going to be other places, but if you're going to go across the country, you got to make a smart decision. And I want you to, like, when we Venn diagram all the pluses and minuses and everything that can go right, Colorado and that coaching staff is one of the things that always rises to the top. So I think, from my perspective of being on both sides of it, I think there's not a lot more that you can ask for from that coaching staff.
So let's talk about recruiting here a little bit. Obviously, they got Deacon Schmidt and Brett Coolidge, two guys that I work with that are both offered by CU. They're bringing in Big Zane D'Souza this year, big tight end from Loveland. So they are recruiting Colorado pretty hard. but we know, and I expect them to recruit nationally again like they used to do, and even at a higher level, because they've never recruited like this before. They've never had this kind of clout. So what they bagged Seton, they bagged Juju, they got all these really good freshmen coming in, guys that are going to play and contribute. What are their focuses on right now? What guys do you see them going after in this next class that are big timers all over the country?
I think one of them is going to be Sadarian Morgan, 5-star, the Benjamin Russell in Alabama, who everybody says is an Auburn, Alabama lean. They're going to get in that recruitment because, and this is one of those things where Coach Prime celebrity is going to help them a ton. Well, a guy who's grown up in SEC country, mom and grandmom are huge fans of Coach Prime, and that's what's going to get them a visit. The visit schedule was booked, and I know this to be true. They literally made up something for. They're like, we're going to make a date to get there, and I think that's one of the things that goes under notice, if that's a word. We can make one up today, but
I like it.
Yeah, I would say under notice. Like one of the things is that the celebrity actually does work in some cases, and they're going to be guys. If you see Colorado recruit a high school guy, it's somebody that can help them immediately. Previously, you had to backfill the roster with guys. I think this is going to be probably Colorado. It may not be the highest rated class as a whole when it comes to 24/7 and on-3 rankings, but when you go to the individual rankings of how high the players are ranked, I think this has the potential to be the highest ranked class per player ever and in Colorado's history. And secondly, I think you're going to get more college-ready players than you've ever seen in Colorado. This will be the class. Even if the guys aren't ranked. Look at Farrakhan and Gibson. These guys are going to force their hand this year. London Merritt is going to force someone's hand. You're going to get more and more of those. So for this year, you may have 7 to 8 guys that when you come in and you say, okay, they're going to redshirt. You got developmental guys. This coming year will probably be the least amount of red shirts you see from a Colorado team.
I love it, man. That's the way that you stay good, is just keep bringing in good players. I'm so damn excited about that part of it, just because of the guys I work with and seeing if they can bag them, but then also all these freaks that they bring in around the country. It's really special. We're actually, I know I sent you this, but throw this back up real quick, Bailey, the camp that we're going to do. We're invited Phil, we invited Carl Reed, and Brandon Huffman from 247 is going to come down and watch. And we got that big Utah camp about a month later at 247 that's invite only. And Davis Moon got invited. They just invited Nick to it today, so that's pretty big time. But at this camp specifically, we're inviting dudes from all over the country, dog. I've been inviting dudes from Oklahoma and Georgia and Alabama, and you wouldn't believe how almost every one of them are like, hey, if I come out to camp, you think I could get up to see you and visit? And I'm like, it's amazing to me just how much draw, you can take that off me, how much draw they actually have. Like you were talking about celebrity. Coach Prime is as famous as they get. But we're talking about like your all-time favorite running backs in the room and this guy and that guy. This draw is what keeps you good for a long time. How good do you think they can – how high can they take this, bro? Like, can you take this to the point where when the rest of the country decides to reshuffle the deck again, CU could potentially get in the SEC or the Big Ten?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. When you talk about being able – like, and the way that you can measure a team based on can they play in that level is can you recruit nationally? And Colorado could 1,000% recruit nationally. There was a time where kids would be like I know kids who were on the 111 team that got recruited from Colorado then, and that kid cannot play in Colorado right now. No disrespect to him, but he can't play there. Like it's basically they're turning this into an SEC, a Big Ten level program. So I think, yeah, absolutely. And I think to your point about having so much talent and having a name recognition of a Marshall Faulk and a Warren Sapp and a Pecco and all of these guys, you've got parents. One of the hardest things, and Matt, you can attest to this, one of the hardest things in recruiting is to get the parents to sign on. So when parents already have familiarity with the coach, not from college, but because they already built a personal relationship with this player through the screen, I managed to play with Marshall Faulk. Like we at the age where our kids are going to be recruited soon. And we're the ones that grew up watching Marshall Faulk. We're the ones, Matt McChesney, who played with some of these guys like So now all of that ice breaking, you've got parents who are going to be more susceptible to say, "Oh man, I've been dying to meet you," than walking that, with the cold shoulder, like this is another kid just trying to take my baby away. So I think that's something that's really going to help Colorado going forward, and another plus when it comes to hiring the type of people that you hire.
Man, I don't know if there's anybody more informed about what's going on in the world of college football in Colorado than my man Phil Duke. Every time you come on this show, you kill it. You got any other questions, Bailey, or can we get Dukes out of here on this beautiful Friday?
My last question for Phil Dukes. Can't thank you enough for joining, man. It's always great when you join. Your biggest standouts from spring practice, and what should we, people we should be looking forward to as we head into, Colorado spring ball and getting ready for their spring game?
Man, I think right now for the first 2 practices, Farrakhan and Gibson for sure have stood out. Somebody who's already been there that they're really impressed with, that's taking their game to another level, has been DJ McKinney. I don't know if you saw where there was some footage out that was saying that I think Coach Phillips was talking to Coach Prime about some feedback he had been getting from NFL teams. And DJ McKinney is a guy who, if he puts it together, he definitely day 2, but can slide into day 1. So he just has to put everything together. And he's showing that right now. And I believe the tight end is Zach Atkins.
Yeah, transfer.
Somebody really excited about is Zach Atkins. I think especially when you think about RPOs coming into it, usually your first read of RPO when you're going to pass the ball is the tight end. And I think having a tight end who can get open in short spaces and has that short area explosion and burst, as a former wide receiver, he's always had to have a get off. So I think by being able to bring that mentality to the tight end position is something that's going to go bowl very well. And Jaheim Moses is as advertised to him and Quinn Barnes. You got Twin Towers right there in the middle, man. So it's going to be exciting. Like one of the things that you got gassed to death last year against certain teams, I think that goes away this year.
Yeah, and look, I played 3 technique CU, and I know it's a man's position. Everybody knows that. I read something the other day, and I'm just visualizing it, where in individual periods, Sapp's working with 3 techniques and Pecco's working just with the noses. And I'm sitting there like, holy shit, if I could have – I had a great D-line coach with Chris Wilson. I love him to death. But if Warren Sapp was my 3 technique coach, holy shit, holy hell. The things you can learn from that, man. So, if you're one of the guys and you're standing there in front of 9-9 and he's teaching you the Sapp Olay and all these pass rush moves and shit, I want to go up there and just sponge it up so I can teach it. So, man, I'm so excited about the future up in Boulder. Everybody make sure you follow and subscribe to everything Dukes does. He is the man. We'll be back soon, and I hope to see you down at camp. We'll obviously be in touch about that. Keep doing your thing, bro. You kick ass. We appreciate the hell out of you.
Man, I appreciate the opportunity, man. Thanks so much.
Later, brother.
Absolutely. Have a great day, Phil Dukes. Thank you for joining. Man, that's the tricky man right there. Shout out to Phil Dukes for joining.
Out of the fucking house. That guy's the fucking shit. And look, great interview, good questions, tons of information. Just information overload. I got to process that shit and listen to it again. But look, I truly believe this in my heart of hearts when it comes to the University of Colorado. I didn't just bring up do you think at the next reshuffle they could get into a bigger conference? I think they will be a massive commodity in the next reshuffle if they continue down this path. And Coach Klein knows that too, and Rick George knows that shit, and the presidents know it. Where would you rather go? I personally would rather go to the Big Ten than the SEC because Nebraska's in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And I don't care if we have to follow them to whip their ass every year. That would be incredible. I think that if you look at the Big Ten and the SEC now, they're both at 16 teams. I think they're going to end up at 20.
Man, makes it really interesting.
So I around and keeping the ACC around, I would think the SEC would probably take Clemson, Florida State. We've already talked about this many times.
Yeah.
North Carolina and Virginia, maybe, or something like that. And then, maybe Miami.
Yeah.
Miami obviously would be one of them, you would hope. So then there's 4 teams. And then all of a sudden the Big 12 and the Big 10 wants to expand. And maybe they take North Carolina and they take Colorado. And I don't know who else in the Big 12 wants to go. Like that's kind of my thing is now programs are being set up like it's the fucking Bachelor, bro. Like, what do you possess? What do you have to bring to the party? If you can't bring fan base and you can't bring revenue and TV ratings, you can't come. But if you can bring all that and you've got Coach Prime and the NFL knocking your door down and top draft picks and top recruits, and you've turned around a once proud program into an even prouder one, because I think this era of Colorado football will turn out to be, especially if they play for or win a national title, it will be the most important era ever. I can't say it's more important than McCartney because he did this in the 80s.
Right.
He turned the program around and won a natty and played in another one and put out countless first-round draft picks and turned it into a powerhouse before turning it off. Coach Prime is taking it to a totally different level with social media and everything else that he provides. So
I agree.
If he can do that, I mean, it puts the program and Coach Prime at an upper echelon level. And I think people are starting to understand now because all the Coach Prime's leaving jargon has stopped. No one talks about that anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
And they don't talk about it anymore because he's a man of his word. He's not just going to leave. He wants to build. I think he takes a lot of pride in the fact that he's taking a 1-11 shit show to national prominence and national recruits and everything else that you can bring to the table. So Colorado fans, hold on to your ass. This is going to get really fun. I think that they have the potential to be even better than they were last year from a record-wise and as an overall team.
Yep.
And that's losing Shador and Travis and Shepard and Wester and Horn and all these NFL guys. They're losing all of them, and I still think we have the chance to be better. So, yeah, man, great show. Dukes did a great job. Thanks to everybody in the comments. Super chats and subs are open. Make sure you check out the camp. Just go to any of the social media platforms, check it out. You can RSVP, which means invite yourself. We got a bunch of kids signing up. Again, Brandon Huffman for 247 is going to be there on the second day. So that's a guy who gives stars. So that's why we're going to the camp in Utah 6 weeks later. By the way, my boy Nick getting invited to this 247 camp, and there's only 50 kids going.
Yeah, that's a big time thing.
They invited Deacon, Reese, Nick, and Moon.
Damn.
And I'm like, I've got like 10 other kids that you have to invite right now. So now he's trying to finagle the numbers so I can take more guys. Because Nate Roper needs to go, and Asher needs to go, and Evan needs to go, and Big Phoenix Jenkins needs to go. That kid's a fucking freak. CU needs to lock that big son of a bitch down. This kid transferred in from California. He's 6'8", goes to Pine Creek. He's only going to be a junior. He's got fucking bare feet, little dancing bear action, long arms, nasty, hard worker. He drives an hour and a half up, an hour and a half back.
Damn.
Damn. West this morning, bro. Dog, Devin West has 18 size shoes. Fucking 18. He's 13 years old, and he's starting to figure it out. So, like, one rep, he got down in the stance today, and when he set, he barked. He was like, "Rah!" And, like, the fucking D-line was, like, shocked, and he got beat inside, and I was like, what are you barking at, dog? Calm down and just pass that and grab him. And the next two reps were just like, pass that whop. Pass that whop. I'm like seniors, and this kid's 13 and shit. So, yeah, we got some fucking dudes in the gym right now, bro. So, see you if you need some linemen. We got some. Yeah, the camps are going to be fun. I can't wait. And I'm telling you, I'm going to go pick up Nick right now from school, and I'm just going to look at him and go, you better get your motherfucking mind right. Yeah. This Utah camp is going to be some real shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why we work, bitch. Fuck. Let's go.
Absolutely. Shout out to the Dungeon family. And
that makes me so happy, dog. My boys got to go out there and put some motherfucking wood on. So drop it on these motherfuckers and let's go.
Let's go. Shout out to the Dungeon family. Shout out to Nick McChesney. Hey, we'll be back on Monday. Shout out to Phil Dukes for joining the show today. Great show. Man, he is just like an encyclopedia.
Awesome. We'll have a bunch. I know that Brady or Bailey put up some great verticals. Doing a great job, B. Keep it up. Monday. All right, Monday we're not going to start till 1:30. All right, so everybody we're not missing you on Monday. Don't miss us. At 1:30, we're going to have 20 minutes of regular show, and then my ex-teammate And in my opinion, the guy should probably be in the Hall of Fame and Heisman Trophy winner and one of the best running backs that's ever graced the earth, and a great dude. Ricky Williams is joining the show to talk about his new TV show and everything he's got going on, and to talk about Coach Prime and all the coaches and football and medicine and all kinds of shit. So get your mind right, because Rick's a pretty fucking unique dude and really smart, and it's going to be a great convo. I can't wait. So on Monday, you do not want to miss Heisman Trophy winner and God knows how many Pro Bowls and All Pros and everything else that comes along with Ricky Williams. He's on the show Monday, and then we'll keep the party rolling into the rest of the month. So I'll tell you this, I can't fucking wait for Pro Day.
Yeah,
I'm so glad I'm going to Pro Day, bro. I'm just going to go up there and be a fly on the wall and just walk around and like record shit and just be like, look at this crazy shit. Every fucking coach in the country is here. Every GM is here. Like, fuck, bro, that might be a chance to go up there and just smooze everybody. Be like, hey, how you doing?
Crazy, man. But yeah, Monday, Ricky Williams, that's a huge show. So if you guys are watching, 3:30 Eastern, 1:30 Mountain will be 20 minutes regular show. We'll have Ricky Williams. So man, Matt, it's gonna be a huge show. Great show today, and enjoy the weekend. If you're watching, hit that like button, subscribe, become a member of the Dungeon family. We appreciate all of you guys watching. And Matt, anything else before we get out of here?
No, man, I gotta go get my kids. Have a great day. That was a hell of a fucking show.
Great show. See you guys on Monday with Ricky Williams. Peace.
God bless.